Hi everyone, back with a little vlog about what I've been playing, what's been going on, and what's happened to my Elite Dangerous tutorial series. If you want to hear more, we'll be back shortly. So yeah, Elite Dangerous. I haven't recorded any more tutorials, and mainly because I've stopped playing Elite Dangerous at the moment. I was really enjoying the game. Don't get me wrong, the game is fantastic and remains fantastic. There's been a few updates now. It all still looks really good. The problem I had is that I wanted to try and get the feel of the old original Elite game, and in that you had two kind of main things that you did, apart from crashing into stations, and that was trading and taking out pirates. And I kind of got the trading nailed, but it was a little bit slow, and I thought, look, this game is multifaceted. I really ought to have a go at some of the combat and getting involved in some of the combat. So I started trying to work out some of the pirate missions. I looked at a few videos on YouTube, read a few forum posts, and then just basically played around with the game, trying to work out the best way of going about kind of getting into some combat. I was playing on the offline version, so the solo play version, mainly because I didn't want to. I know I'm going to get shot down by the online players. I just didn't want that messing up the thread of what I was trying to work out how to go about doing the pirate missions. So I went into the solo play, picked up a few pilot missions, and to be honest, I never could suss out what I was doing. I had no idea, and whenever I did pick up a pirate mission, I just seemed to end up flying backwards and forwards through different systems, not finding anything. I'd go and visit the nav beacons and maybe find some people there, and what would happen would be two things. One, I'd pick up a wanted status for reasons that I couldn't comprehend, or in one situation I finally found the pirate and he shot me with one shot, because basically I'd picked up one of the missions that's like 150,000 credits, and I didn't really realise how monstrously tough those pirates actually were. And so I found the pirate and I was really excited, went into the system, found the guy, and bang, that was it, I was dead. And it was just like, oh. So I've kind of stopped playing Elite Dangerous. There are other reasons, which I'll go into in a minute, because I've found a load of other games that I'm really enjoying. And the one thing, and I've said this before when I'm talking about these tutorials, Elite Dangerous really does need some time to play it. And if you don't have the time, if you only have like 20-25 minutes, half an hour here and there, Elite Dangerous is not one of those games that you can kind of really play, I don't think. So Elite Dangerous, I've not so much as rage quit it as calmly stopped playing it because I wasn't getting anywhere. I saw an interesting quote from Dave Brabham the other day saying that they were aware of the learning curve, and I mean that rings true. The tutorials I've done in terms of the navigation and trading and stuff, they're quite difficult, and it's taken me a while to get the hang of that. So I'm sure I'll get back into it and get the hang of the pirates, but for the time being I'm moving on and playing some other games. On that note, the other games I wanted to talk about today are Dying Light, which I picked up. It was a digital download only, exclusive for a month. I didn't really realise that because I couldn't really work out why the boxed copies weren't available. And it was like, I don't know, about £40 on Steam, and you know, the equivalent AAA prices on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And I couldn't find a box copy anywhere, because sometimes you get box copies cheaper, especially for PC when they first come out. And I was looking around the internet, and suddenly they popped up, and I realised that what had happened was that it was a digital download exclusive, and then the box copies became available a month later. And I thought, fantastic. So I got a box copy for PC from Amazon for £25, which I think's a good. I think that's where games should be. I think that's what the value is, but you know, you can discuss that all you like. But £25 good for me, and I often wait till games have reduced in price before I buy them anyway. So 25 quid was good for me, and everybody was talking about the game like it was really good fun, and there were a few issues with it, and I was thinking those issues, that actually sounds like the kind of game that I like. So it's a great game. If you haven't picked it up already, pick it up. It's brilliant. Like I say, it's been out for a while now, so it's starting to come down in price. It is a nightmare to play when it's dark. You desperately, when you first start to play, try not to go out into the dark, because it is scary. It's a huge adrenaline rush when you get a zombie behind you and you're trying to parkour your way out of trouble. And there's really nothing you can do in the dark when the particular type of zombie start following you. If they catch you, that's it, you've had it. And so I was playing the game trying to avoid the dark, which is okay to start with, but then quite cleverly, I think, the game introduces missions for you where you have to go out in the dark. And so you kind of get used to the concept of how to get around in the dark, what the best way to do is, how to use the little mini-map that you've got to avoid the worst zombies. And actually the game becomes playable to a point in the dark. I still died loads of times, excuse me, and it's still really tricky. You have to keep your eyes open all the time, your ears open, and you just have to be ready to literally peg it away from the zombies as the only recourse when they start to catch you. I think it's really clever that the game does get you to go out in the dark, and initially as well with the game, actually attacking the zombies, it's doable, but you do get beaten up quite badly. The game forces you to approach the zombies, so rather than kind of stealthy way around the zombies, which you can do to start with, the game forces you more and more to deal with the zombies. I got to one particular mission where there was I needed to turn on a valve, and it was in a, I don't know, 3 meter by 3 meter fenced off enclosure with a huge zombie in it. And so basically there was no way I could turn the valve without doing something about the zombie. And so you're kind of forced into having combat with the zombies, even though the best thing to do really with the zombies is to steer well clear of them. The game forces you into those interactions, which is really quite good. I absolutely understand people's issues with the game. It is very much a fetch and carry thing, so go and get me this, go and get me that. There's not a huge amount of variety to the missions. However, I like the open world nature of it. You can just poke around. There's lots of other objectives in the game to find. There's collectibles to find, and so it's quite interesting. And there's the whole crafting aspect to it as well, which is really good. And I must say, I am absolutely loving that game. I haven't finished it yet. The coverage that I'm showing is hopefully spoiler free, and actually covers off a second part of the game, so that there's the game's kind of in 2 parts. Quite an interesting game, really good fun, looks lovely on PC. The one thing I found is that the killer for the graphics performance is the view distance. And so if you're struggling to get a decent frame rate on that, just lower down the view distance a little bit, and that will really help. And I also found it was very motion sick inducing until I adjusted the field of view. So yeah, Dying Light, thoroughly recommend that, really loving playing that. The other 2 games I wanted to talk about very briefly. Talos Principle. That was discounted on Steam a while ago, down to £20, and I bought that because everybody has said so many good things about that game, and I totally see what they mean. I was playing this on Sunday, and it's a real Sunday morning relaxing puzzle game where all you've got to do is sit there, play the game, nice cup of tea, and kind of deal with the mental stresses of it. like I say, the game is really good. You have to be into puzzles. I really like the way that the world's built up. The game lets you into the puzzles very gently and introduces lots of new concepts, and I think it does a really good job of introducing each new concept really nicely. It tries to tend to tag them on to the older concepts, and so you get a good understanding of the game as you get into it. So Talos Principle, I really enjoyed that. I'm still playing it. I've still got a few of the targets to collect, but that's really good. I haven't shown any footage of Talos Principle because basically most of it is spoiler, and you don't really want spoilers of a puzzle game. Go and check it out on Steam. It looks really nice, and it's really interesting. It's from the same guys that I can't think of the name of the game. Serious Sam Games. Same guys that did Serious Sam. They've gone from one extreme to the other, so that's really good. And then the other day I was watching BOO, I think, on YouTube, playing City Skylines. Now I think a lot of YouTubers have been given early access to City Skylines, and I was looking at it thinking, that looks really cool. It looks really similar to SimCity 4. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I thought, I really love those games. I don't know, it's the control freak in me that goes, you know, I want to organise the city perfectly. And so that was, I bought that from, interesting enough, I bought that from the Humble store. And one of the interesting things about the Humble store is it prices everything in dollars. And in the UK, at the moment, that's a really good return, because it basically, I pay using PayPal, and even with PayPal's exorbitant exchange rates, you get the game for a pretty decent price. So definitely one good thing to check out is Humble Store when you're looking to buy a new download. And obviously it's a Steam redeemable key, so you can just plonk it into Steam anyway, so that's really good. What do I think of City Skylines? Yeah, it's interesting. The tutorial is quite basic. You can see that a lot of people will be watching a lot of footage on YouTube to understand how the game works. But it does give you a good sense of what to play. And obviously if you played one of these city simulators before, it's all fairly straightforward stuff. It does remind me, I played SimCity, the last one. I played SimCity, so the last version, the one that everybody complained about. I played it, I enjoyed it, but I got really constrained with it, and I stopped playing it because of the constraint of the size of the city. City Skylines looks very, very similar. It plays in a very similar way. It even has those nice little pop-up happy faces when you do something that the townspeople like. I haven't got into the game too much. It looks really nice. It plays really smoothly. One really nice feature is that everything in the game is individual, so each house you can rename it, each person you can rename that. Yeah, it's a really good game. I thoroughly recommend it. I did hear that there were some problems with it originally. I've not run into any problems with the game at all. That doesn't mean that there aren't problems out there, and I think there may be a few problems with some of the systems that maybe I haven't got to yet, because it does introduce the systems to you relatively slowly, so you have to do a little bit of work, build up a town, and then you might get access to fire services, and then you might get access to police and stuff like that. So I've got to the stage where I'm just about building up to getting public transport, so that should be a laugh. So yeah, really enjoying that game. It's great. So those are the 4 games I've been playing on PC. What else have I played? I've also played a game called Numa Breath of Life on Xbox One. The reason I'm playing that is because I had a while back some points from Xbox 360, and when the Xbox One came out, Microsoft decided that they were going to cancel the points scheme. I can't remember exactly when it was, but they were going to cancel the points scheme, which is fair enough. It was a daft idea anyway, really. And what they did was they moved all your points into pounds or dollars, wherever you were. But they did expire, so that money had to be spent, and actually mine had to be spent by the end of March. So I had a choice between Numa and Ori and the Blind Forest, and I just decided to get Numa because I was playing Talos and I wanted to play some other puzzle games. So I'm not dissing Ori and the Blind Forest because that game looks great, and I probably will get it on Xbox One or PC at some point. But I really fancy playing Numa, and that's a really interesting game. I've got stuck though. It's a puzzle game. It's a 3D puzzle game, first-person puzzle game. It's really nicely rendered. It looks really pretty, but of course there's not very much going on, so the developers can afford to be a bit elaborate with the scenery. The narration is quite amusing at times, and like I say, I've played into the game a little bit. I've done about 2 or 3 levels, I think, and got stuck now, and I need to go back and suss out what it was I was doing. There's a lot of logic to apply, so as far as I can tell, you can logic your way through all the puzzles, which is good. You don't want to be kind of stuck there just trying random stuff. So been playing that. I also downloaded Rayman Legends because that was on Xbox Gold for free, and that's supposed to be a really good game. I very briefly played that without reading the instructions, and just Rayman died. I used to love platformers, but I don't know what it is now. I don't know whether my reactions are getting too slow or something. I don't know, but yeah, I really struggle with platforms now. I need to go back to that. That game looks great. Fantastic soundtrack. It looks really good. What else have I been playing? And the other thing that I've been playing is, when I'm not on my PC or at the Xbox One, I've been playing Puzzle Forge 2 on my phone. I have played the hell out of that game. I think it's free to play. You can pay for bits and pieces through the game. You don't need to pay any money if you don't want to. It does have ads on Android, and I paid to remove the ads. And actually, you know, I don't mind the £1.19p or something it was to remove the ads. I've played the hell out of that game, and I've got to the stage where I can't work out the logic of building the different weapons that people ask for. I've got past the gold weapons. I'm onto the green crystally kind of weapons, and they're tough. I thoroughly recommend that game though. It's available for Android and iOS, I believe. It's called Puzzle Forge 2. I heard about that from the guys that do from Total Biscuit and Dodger, who do the Optional podcast. I was listening to that, and they keep going on about that game, and I thought, oh, I get it. I knew they've addicted me to that game. It's just ridiculous. And I tend to be like that with telephone games, is I'll play one game that I bought to death, and then I'll move on to something else. Yeah, so that's what's been going on in gaming. And it's really interesting. I haven't put up a video. I've been trying to do a bit of kind of channel rebranding. I've just been creating a bit more artwork and stuff, and to be honest, I haven't actually had time to put up a lot of videos. And when I got really frustrated with the Elite Dangerous, my kind of last thread of series that I was doing kind of ran to an end, and I've been trying to put up content regularly, but last week I did. I played one of my favourite games of all time, which is Colin McRae Rally. You can go and check out the video I put out last week. I played that, and it was really funny because I just intended to sit down there, play it for 20 minutes, get some footage, do a little bit of commentary, talk about why I enjoyed the game and everything. I ended up playing the game for an hour and a half, just because it was such good fun. I just have such fond memories of that game, and yeah, I just sat there after I'd recorded the commentary. I was just thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna play another one. I'll just play another one. Really, really good stuff. So yeah, check that video out. Coming up, I don't really know what my plan is. Like I say, I'm trying to kind of rejuvenate the channel. I'm just really redoing some artwork and changing some of my style for the thumbnails and stuff. I'm going to carry on doing gameplay. I'm really tempted to do a City Skylines series, but actually I don't really know how interesting that's going to be. Lots of people are playing it. I might not do that. What else might I do? Dying Light's one of those games I don't really feel very capable at, although I'm enjoying it. I might do a just playing of Dying Light, because actually it's a really nice looking game and it's definitely worthwhile taking some footage of and doing. And then, are there any games on up and coming that I think I might look at? Let me have a quick look at my Steam wish list and see, see what's on there. Where are we? Wish list. So yeah, I definitely will try to get hold of Ori at some point. And you know, there's quite a lot. I've got quite a lot of games on my Steam wish list, and whether I'll get around to playing them all, I don't know. Ori and the Blind Forest, I will definitely try to play on Xbox One. See about that. I also, the other thing I have been playing a very little bit of is Titanfall on Xbox One. When the game came out, I originally bought it on PC, and I hadn't bought it on Xbox, obviously, because why would you need to? But a load of my friends at work were saying that they play it on Fridays, and they suggested I download it. So I bought it for £7.50, just the basic version. And then actually all the season pass never became free. So I've got all the DLC and stuff. So I'm glad I only just paid for the basic version on Xbox One. So that was a bit of a bargain. So yeah, just been playing trying to play a bit of that, so I can get some skills up before I enter any kind of online games with friends from work. So yeah. So yeah, on the channel, I'm not really quite sure what's going to come next. I've got a few ideas for individual videos, and I think that's what's going to happen. Is I'm going to end up doing like individual one-offs rather than series for the near future, because basically I haven't got a lot of time at the moment. I am going to try and do kind of a chatty vlog every month, talk about the video games I'm playing. At the moment, I've really got into listening to podcasts. And I really like the kind of interaction, listening to what people are playing, what they think of it. So that's good, but some trouble is sometimes real YouTubers, it's all a bit distant because they've got the game before it comes out, they've already reviewed it or played the hell out of it or whatever. And so yeah, sometimes I'm never sure whether I'll pick up a game after listening to them. And hopefully my kind of thoughts are a little bit more down to earth, maybe. And yes, I've got to get back into Elite Dangerous. I've got to suss out how to do the pirates, and when I do, I will post another tutorial. I was seriously thinking about doing a long series in that game of getting back to Earth. I decided against it because fundamentally I don't think the game makes very good watching myself. It's interesting when there's a lot going on, like combat, but when you're just trading to and from places, there's not a lot of kind of good viewing. So I kind of canned that idea. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. That's what games I've been playing recently. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts. If you have any comments, please let me know, and I'll be back again soon. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.